on this drive. Play 13 coming up with Silver next to Minacucci from the 4-yard line. First, go, fade, end zone. Knocked away, incomplete. That's the second time they've looked on that side of the field for Wilson, and he cannot snare it. That time it was Nazir Ward in coverage.
Ward had terrific coverage, as you mentioned, long-armed defender who was able to get it up there. Wilson actually caught the ball, but he was out of bounds. So a pretty darn good throw, just not quite as much room. He comes down. I think he held on to it, but he was out of bounds.
Two running backs now on second and goal to go from the 4. Ellison enters to the right of Minacucci. To the left is Joe Silver.
And this is new, Scott.
Minacucci out of the shotgun. Western Kentucky showing pressure. Minacucci going to keep himself. Runs and gets to the 2-yard line. Upended by Jalen Wester, the team's leading tackler. He already has 3 on this drive.
Wester is a really fine defender. He's a linebacker. He can play in the box. He can play in coverage. He's a 3-down defender. Did a nice job of scraping. Scott, that was supposed to be a shovel pass into the middle that was taken away by fine defense of Western Kentucky.
Nick LeBoy enters. He had 2 touchdowns last time out against FIU. Hens going big with Sessoms. Also in the ball game, Jackson Whitaker, the sophomore from New Jersey. Out of the pistol, Minacucci has Silver behind him. Third, goal to go from the 2. The tight ends go in motion. All 3 of them to the right side. Minacucci gets a snap. Will run to the left and score. Crosses the goal line in Delaware. An opening drive for 6.
A brilliant call by Ryan Carty. As you perfectly described, the 3 big tight ends come in. They align to the left. Then they shift over to the right, which gave us a short side, unbalanced side. And then Minacucci comes back that way. Western Kentucky just totally unprepared for that. They did not have an edge defender to even begin to handle Minacucci. So great play design and great execution against a really good red zone and 3rd down defense team.
15 plays, 75 yards, and Reed will finish it off, hitting the Bob Carpenter Center with that PAT. Delaware, 7-0. It's your firstaidortho.com timeout scores. We take our first break on 94.7 WDSD.
Keep your kids active this school year with dance, tumbling, martial arts, and sports classes at Hockessin Athletic Club. Schedule a tour today at HACHealthClub.com. That's HACHealthClub.com.
The new school year is finally here. Start the school year off right by nominating an all-star in education at dsea.org. This message brought to you by the Delaware State Education Association.
Klondike Kate's Restaurant and Saloon is your premier spot in Newark, Delaware since 1979. Did you know Kate's hosts a number of private and corporate events through their catering services? From birthdays and exclusive private parties to corporate dinners and business luncheons, the experienced team at Klondike Kate's is dedicated to delivering unforgettable experiences that exceed your expectations. Check out available rooms on the private events page at KlondikeKates.com or contact by email banquets@KlondikeKates.com.
This just in, Newark 24/7 Urgent Care on Main Street in Newark has been voted the first state favorite urgent care center for Northern Delaware. The Newark Urgent Care team of providers offers expert medical care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Newark Urgent Care offers point-of-care lab testing and ultrasound right at the bedside. If you have an illness or injury, or if you need immediate expert care, think Newark Urgent Care on Main Street in Newark, Delaware. NewarkUrgentCare.org. They never close.
94.7 WDSD FM. You're listening to Delaware Blue Hens football.
Football is better at Acme, and Blue Hens Radio has teamed up with them for all your game day meals. Visit the WDSD.com contest page to enter to win a $100 Acme gift card and wear your Philadelphia Eagles apparel on game days at Acme to save 5% on your in-store shopping of over $20 or more. Discover why football is better at Acme, the official supermarket of the Philadelphia Eagles and proud partners of Blue Hens Radio. I'm Scott Gladson next to Bill Harmon. What a drive put together by the Blue and Gold. Last 3 drives now going back to FIU. 12 plays, 15 plays, 75 yards to start this one.
It does so many good things for you. That was great balance. 7 run, 8 passes. Even though Nick Minacucci was 4 for 8, 2 of those passes were unbelievably good throws with just great defense. the creativity by Ryan Carty, the execution, the personnel changes, the motions, thaw out of the backfield. The key play, I thought, was the first 3rd and 5 conversion to thaw for 33 yards on that crossing pattern. Interestingly enough, Western Kentucky didn't understand the wind. We're kicking with the wind, and they kicked off into the wind.
And so it is returnable, though, for Western Kentucky, looking for a seam and knocked down at the 17-yard line. Nick Minicucci started Delaware off with a touchdown. For more on Nick, here's Nick Alessandrini.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. And yeah, Nick Minicucci coming into this one. We're seeing the 2 top-ranked quarterbacks in Conference USA. Nick Minicucci coming in as number 2 rated, and the quarterback we'll see here in a second, Matt McIver, coming in as number 1. But again, Western Kentucky doing some of the research, talking to some people over there. They have struggled with mobile quarterbacks all year this year and then continuing back to last year. So Minicucci was a threat that they were worried about. He was minus odds in Vegas to get into the end zone tonight, guys, and he already did that. Hens on the board.
Nick, all day long. You want to know what's happening in Vegas? Nick Alessandrini. We got to come up with a nickname for Vegas Nick over there. Maverick McIver is in as the quarterback for Western Kentucky. He hands it off to a very talented running back in Marvis Parrish, and he picks up first down yardage, or maybe give him 9 on the first carry of the game. But they're going to see number 21 with the rock a whole lot.
He's a hard-nosed runner, 5'11", 206. He also is used in the Wildcat from time to time. A really nice block by their left guard on that play on a trap.
Now a screen pass on 2nd and 1. Delaware's there defensively. Blowing up the play as Merge Malumbo was out last week against FIU. Comes in with a TFL to get things started this week.
And Merge is starting in the place of Dylan Traynor in that inside linebacker position. Hasn't played quite as much this season, but that was a great run too. Delaware taking away early on that wide receiver screen that Western Kentucky runs extremely well and often.
8:30 first quarter action. 7:30 first quarter action. 3rd down for Western Kentucky. Maverick McIver out of the gun. From his own 25, sends Hutchinson in motion. Now it's McIver. Looking, throwing, middle of the field. Hutchinson, a nice catch at the 31-yard line and a beautiful look for Maverick McIver. Let's talk more about him. We did so in the pregame show, but here's a guy who had a ton of success at the FCS level. 2nd-team All-American a season ago. Threw for almost 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, and now off to a great start.
Besides his obvious experience is that he knows a lot about this offense, even in a short period of time. A very bright guy, is a very accurate passer. That was a terrific ball placement to Hutchinson.
And now the other running back, I believe, getting a carry, and that's Lavelle Wright. So we're going to see Parrish and Wright.
And maybe even Hart.
Yeah, 3 guys for Western Kentucky. Wright with 28 carries on the season, Parrish with 42, and then 31 carries for Hart. So you got 3 guys that have all carried the football at least 30 times.
Scott, I'm going to go back to McIver for a second. He's really good in the pocket. He has a great command of this offense, but he is not quite as effective outside the pocket. So Delaware's got to get in and flush him out from time to time.
6:23, first quarter, man in motion is Wright. McIver has some time. Now being flushed out. Hunter giving him chase. McIver trying to get to the sideline, and Mole meets him there with a shove out at the 32, maybe 33-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd down and long for the Hilltoppers.
That's really good defense by Delaware. They took away all the downfield solutions for McIver. He's got to scramble out. He has good speed, but he's not that kind of runner. Most of his yardage has come on 3rd and shorts where he's running. Otherwise, his sacks have really been a problem. He's not that mobile inside the pocket other than really fine footwork when he's throwing.
Delaware leads 7-0. A sold-out crowd making some noise. Blew out here at Delaware Stadium. McIver talking with his lineup. Play clock is at 6. Hutchinson, he's in motion. Retraces to the left, trips to the left side. McIver pumps, fires, passes, caught to Hutchinson. 2nd time he'll convert a 3rd down as Manning maybe took the wrong route towards the ball late on the INT, and it ended up getting to Hutchinson to gain 11.
There's no doubt he did. He tried to undercut that and make the play. When you give McIver that kind of time, which they did, he will pick you apart. That was only a 3-man rush. Let's look for some blitzes and maybe some 4- and 5-man pressures.
10 sacks on the season for Delaware so far. And they flip it on the reverse to the Hilltoppers with some room at the 45, wrapped up by Pollard near midfield. That one could have gone a little further had Pollard not come across to make the play. It was Cameron Flowers, a redshirt freshman from Georgia, who had the reverse run.
Talk about play design. It's almost like Western Kentucky had a bye week as well. But I'll tell you what, Pollard made a great play. Reversing field, voices out, communicating, telling people to get back. Gavin Moll was also in good spot there, too.
I'll tell you what, Tyson Helton versus Ryan Carty. There's a reason this one is got some national eyes on it.
You got it, buddy.
Second down and 3 for the Western Kentucky 49-yard line. Man open at the Delaware 45. Ball is loose. Delaware picks up. KT Say has it in his hands, and the Hens with a takeaway.
That was a perfectly thrown ball by MacGyver into the zone void. But what Delaware really does is they converge quickly on the ball. They can knock it out. They scramble. We talked about in the pregame show who's always around the ball making a big play, KT Say. So
ball
it came
comes
in
loose
from the trail. Malumba, I believe, should get the credit for the knockout.
Malumba already a tackle for a loss and a forced fumble. We'll take a break after they change possessions here. 4:22, first quarter of football on your firstaidortho.com. Timeout score. Delaware's got 7, Western Kentucky 0 on 94.7 WDSD.
This river wasn't dammed in a day, and GMC trucks weren't built overnight. Like every American achievement, they are a result of dedication. Over 100 years dedicated to the art of engineering and the ambition to always move this country forward. Get 0% APR plus 3,100 total value on this Sierra 1500 model. Plus, current eligible GMC owners get an additional $3,500 purchase allowance.
College is short. Live it the best. With over 500 apartments around campus, find your perfect place with Lang Development. Visit langdevelopmentgroup.com.
Capriati's has always been known for extraordinary sandwiches made with uncompromising quality, and now they're even better. Introducing the Bigger, Better menu, inspired by what fans crave most. Now, all cheesesteaks come with 25% more meat, and fan favorites like the Italian, French dip, and capistrami are stacked higher than ever. Looking for variety and value? Try the new $9.99 Duos, a mini classic sub hit with your choice of salad, soup, or chip, drink, and cookie combo. Capriati's, bigger portions, better value. Taste the extraordinary.
Keep jobs local and get the job done right the first time by hiring a local 313 electrician. Keep our community safe and hire only local licensed electricians. Local 313.
A new era of FBS football continues on 94.7 WDSD FM and iHeartRadio.
Delaware with the takeaway. Let's get to the injury report real quick. Brought to you by Christiana Care for the love of health. Nick, update us.
Yeah, Jake Thaw, great to see him back after missing a few weeks. Patrick Shupp obviously out for personal reasons, and a big loss today on defense. Dylan Traynor leads the team with 29 tackles, but how about Malumba in for Traynor, forcing that fumble there. Big turnover for the Hens, undefeated when they win the turnover battle.
Thank you very much, Nick. 20-0 under Ryan Carty when Delaware plus on the turnover margin. 7-0 Delaware. Possession for the Hens starts with Joe Silver getting caught up at the line of scrimmage. Probably a loss on the play is Rylan Suafilo, the transfer from Southern Utah, came in amongst others. Hey, when we were at commercial break, Bill, Rich Gannon firing up the crowd. Pretty cool that Rich, a former NFL MVP, here to watch his Hens.
Great to have him in the house. So what a terrific player, great career. A couple teams in the NFL, and obviously one of our really great quarterbacks.
Second down and 11 for Minakuchi. He dials one up, looking back shoulder, but incomplete for Kelly, who already has one catch. That one would have gone about 20 yards. It's third down and 11. We talked about the stat for Delaware. They tonight are 5 of 5 on third downs. They only have 7% of their possessions. I believe it's only 2 on the season, 3 and out. So, and trying to.
You're exactly right. Your math is getting better and better as you get older, friend.
I've been helping Ryan with his homework.
Must be your tutoring.
I've been helping Ryan with his homework.
Hey, this is a really good pass defense, which really is keyed by their secondary and not so much their pass rush.
They're down 11. Minakuchi overthrows his target, nearly intercepted as it hit the turf. Jalen Lewis diving for it, but it'll be an incomplete pass, not an intercepted pass. So Delaware can't get points off a turnover there. We'll see Brandon Locke for the first time come out to punt things away with 3:38 left on the first quarter clock.
Western Kentucky tries to pressure you just with 4. They like to drop 7, which obviously is why they're so good, only 176 yards average against them. And they have some really good players in the back end. But Delaware, if they can protect Minakuchi and get guys like Thaw working underneath, I think we're going to have some success even on 3rd and long.
Locks spins one, and a fair catch is going to be made at the 21-yard line. So Western Kentucky will come onto the field. Their offense was driving. They picked up a first down and then fumbled it away. So we'll stay right here, though, as we'll take a break on the field, but stay right here in the booth as I want to tell our listeners about part of our broadcast team by now. Part of the crew is this partnership with First State Orthopedics that we've had for such a long time, and we appreciate all the folks at First State Orthopedics. So I want to tell you about some of the top docs that make First State Orthopedics a team of top docs taking care of Delaware from the breach to the bridge and beyond. And I've had the honor of getting to know Dr. Matthew Handling throughout the years. He's a UD Honors College graduate, as is his wife, Dr. Sue Handling, and he has solely practiced with First State Orthopedics and has assumed the majority of FSO's sports knee surgeries. You may have seen Dr. Handling even as a youth on these very football sidelines with his father, Keith, a longtime head trainer for the Blue Hens, and his dad, a UD Athletics Hall of Fame for all the great work he did with the Hens. Dr. Matthew Handling, First State Orthopedics fellowship-trained ACL specialist and a great friend to the Blue Hens radio broadcast. We appreciate all that Dr. Handling and First State Orthopedics has done throughout the year. I'm Scott Klatskin alongside Bill Harmon. Nick Alstrini's back in the studio. We'll hear from Benny Pinella at the half, and Jay Hollihan is running things back there for us on the boards. Let's take a look at the CUSA standings. That's brought to you by Easter Seals, Delaware, and Maryland's Eastern Shore, providing exceptional service to ensure that all people with disabilities and their families have equal opportunities to live, learn, work, and play in their communities. Learn more at easterseals.com/DE. Nick, what's Conference USA looking like?
Well, it's a big one here tonight, guys. Delaware sitting at that third spot, Western Kentucky at the second spot, so 2 versus 3 here. Louisiana Tech sitting at the top, but they are, of course, tied with Western Kentucky. So both of them really leading at 4-1 overall, 2-0 in the conference. Delaware 1-0 alongside Kennesaw State, Jacksonville State, and New Mexico State following in at 1-1. Then FIU, Missouri State, UTEP, Liberty, MTSU, and, of course, Sam Houston still looking for their first win in conference. But, guys, about 5 teams to here undefeated through a couple weeks in, and a big one tonight is going to see who sits atop those standings.
All right, thank you, Nick. And Delaware off to a good start offensively, defensively a takeaway, but a 3-and-out, a rare 3-and-out for Delaware last time out on the field. Maverick McIver, 4 of 4. He didn't fumble the football away. He's been finding his guys, so they saw success, just obviously couldn't hold on to the football.
He's had time. He's thrown short a couple times and then into the intermediate. He's been forced out of the pocket once, which developed into a 1-yard run, so that was great strategy. Delaware on that last one, even though we got the ball, it was only a 3-man rush and he had plenty of time. So let's look for Manny to dial up some pressures.
Man goes in motion as Western Kentucky will start on their own 22-yard line. McIver with some pressure, middle of the field. It's high and nearly taken away by Say again. He already has a fumble recovery, and he almost had an interception. Give a pass break up to the Hilltoppers receiver that took it out of Seven's hand.
And it was saved by Quincy Burrows, or that ball would have been intercepted by Say.
Ooh.
A great drop by Gavin Mole, which forced McIver to throw the ball high to the in-breaking crosser route.
And so 2nd down and 10, nearly another takeaway for Delaware. Some pressure coming in late for the Hens. McIver to keep it himself, going nowhere as Delaware brings him down at the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss. Malumba, one of the players in the mix again. He is making up for the loss of Dylan Traynor. Noah Matthews in there with the stop as well.
Both those guys are really mobile. They read that perfectly. That was a zone read, and I'm not sure when he looks at the tape why McIver pulled that ball, because that's not his game anyway, and they want to give the ball out onto the perimeter. So really good defense early on here by Delaware against the Western Kentucky run game.
So 3rd down and 12. Some noise from the Blue Hen faithful. McIver dropping back. Pressure comes from Yelbert. He steps up, got some room to run. He's being chased by Mole. He's got to get to the 32-yard line and does, all the way to the 35 on 3rd down and 12. A 15-yard pickup for McIver to keep the drive alive.
Delaware showed a double-A mug. 2 guys in the A-gaps. They both bail, Malumba and Mole. They come with 3 men from the left to try to force him out. He did, but only one rusher to the right, and that's what gave MacGyver a lane to come up the field. So a nice play, MacGyver, not known for his scrambling ability.
Yeah, not a runner, minus 20 on the season. Of course, that includes sack yardage. Fresh set of downs. MacGyver, that's what he does best. Slings it deep, caught, staying up till he gets the 20-yard line as Matthew Henry, 18th catch of the season, leads the team in yards, and now he's up to 300 on the season after that bomb.
Henry has terrific speed. He's from a great program down in Miami, Florida. He's been around, but he is best at his streak routes, and his go routes are going fast.
Inside the 20, flag on the play, first one of the night. George Hart, the third running back to get a carry for Western Kentucky. We'll see if this one stands. Referee tonight, Ron Hudson. We'll hear from him.
Isn't that interesting, Scott, how many times?
Offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Teams try to hurry up, put the pressure on the defense, and they make the mistake
Right.
as opposed to taking advantage of the other team with maybe different personnel on the field, being misaligned, or just not ready for the play.
Bill, that's something you talked about in the pregame show. Penalties for Western Kentucky. 7 per game, 75 yards per contest. One of the most in the country.
Especially in the red zone. He'll afford that, especially being down 7-0 on the road.
In motion goes Hutchinson. He's got 2 first-down grabs. The run play is stopped by Pollard, who got there first. Malumba, another half tackle for him. And running wide that time was Wright.
That's that wildcat play. They have MacGyver and Heat next to one another, but the ball is going to be snapped to Wright. He had a huge run last week against Missouri State, which was called back by a penalty. This time, there was just nowhere to go. Delaware fully prepared for the Wildcat.
Wright's got 2 rushing touchdowns in each of the last 2 games, so they like to go to him, especially when close in the red zone. Ball at the 20-yard line. 2nd and 12. Under a minute, first quarter. Delaware leads 7-0. MacGyver trying to change that. Steps up in the pocket. He stumbles a bit, stays behind the line of scrimmage, and will throw it away. Nice job spying a bit from both Matthews, Noah, and Blake.
Well, it's clear that Delaware wants to push him out of the pocket one way or the other. Usually you try to determine a side. Here they're just going to bring that interior pressure, force him out onto the edges into spaces that he doesn't want to play. Watch for number 81, Evans, down here in the red zone. He's a really young but very fine receiver, and MacGyver and he have a great relationship in the red zone.
Noah MacGyver, 7th-year man out of Central High School in Texas. 3rd and 12. Ball in the Delaware 20. MacGyver takes the snap, pumps again, finds his man. He's going to be wrapped up for a loss. On the tackle is Blake Matthews. And the field goal unit going to have to come on for the Hilltoppers.
Blake Matthews, if anything he does, he's improved his tackling as he's gone on in his career. He gets his feet positioned well, wide base, gets his cleats in the ground. Just a terrific play there. They cleared that side, and we're running that low crosser in hopes to get a big turn around the corner without a defender there. Delaware in some man-to-man in the red zone.
And a whistle before the 41-yard try. That's going to end the first quarter of football. So Delaware leads it after 7-0. Western Kentucky will try to get on the board when we come back. That was your firstaidortho.com timeout scores. We take a break from Delaware Stadium.
People's Plaza is your one-stop shopping destination, located at the intersections of Route 40 and 896 in beautiful Glasgow, Delaware for over 40 years. Come and experience People's Plaza's unique variety of retailers, small businesses, restaurants, entertainment, as well as medical and professional services. People's Plaza offers tax-free shopping, plenty of parking, and free family-friendly events throughout the year. People's Plaza, where you can eat, shop, and more.
The best of both worlds is coming soon to Delaware Park Casino. Delaware's largest outdoor slot patio, a brand new open air space with 250 slot machines. Delaware Park Casino, where winning is always in play.
Dr. Joseph Strait is a non-surgical sports medicine specialist and the voice of First Aid Orthopedics here on iHeartRadio. He's a UD Med Scholars graduate who completed his family medicine residency and sports fellowship at Christiana after medical school at Thomas Jefferson. Dr. Strait is a past president of the Medical Society of Delaware together and remains active within this very important organization. This is Scott Klatskin, voice of the Blue Hens, proud to partner every game with Dr. Strange.
Brandywine Electronics is the official audio partner of Blue Hens Radio. Let BEL assist you with design and installation, event production, rentals and service, and repairs. Visit BEL.com.
Parents, if you have a little one at home, be sure to take advantage of DE 529's First State First Steps program. If your child is age 5 or younger and lives in the state of Delaware, DE 529 will match your initial contribution of $100 to their education savings account. Plus, each account owner has a gifting link to share on social media so friends and family can help crowdfund their child's future. For more information, visit 529.delaware.gov.
Football is back, and so is Pick 6 from $19.99 at Buffalo Wild Wings. 2 entrees, 2 sides, and 2 drinks. It's the Pick 6 meal for 2 at Buffalo Wild Wings for a limited time.
First state, first season, same station. 94.7 WDSD FM and iHeartRadio.
Today's local business of the game is Instant Imprints, the official apparel provider of Blue Hens Radio. We've worked with Instant Imprints for years for all of our gear. They are much more than an apparel and embroidery company. From yard signs and custom uniforms to vehicle wraps and door hangers, they make sure your business gets noticed, remembered, and respected because your brand deserves the royal touch. Instant Imprints, where you're treated like royalty. Like royalty. They treat us like royalty. I know that. Instant Imprints, big thanks to all of them. We're always looking sharp thanks to Instant Imprints. Nobody sharper than Nick Alstrini, who's down on the sideline. A heck of a first quarter of action for the Hens. Nick, your thoughts real quick before this field goal.
Well, again, we all know John Cannon is one of the best in the country, and we thought maybe after last year how successful Western Kentucky was in terms of how their kicking game, and it carried right over into this year, obviously with the transfer over of John Cannon, who has been near automatic. And again, Western Kentucky kind of refers to their special teams as, you guessed it, special.
They certainly are. Cannon's made a 49-yard field goal this season. This will be from 41. He'll kick into the student section to start the second quarter of football. A packed student section all wearing blue here on a Friday night. 41-yard field goal attempt is up, certainly has the distance, and is through. 8 of 9 on the year for John Cannon, and Western Kentucky is on the board 7-3 the score. A win for Delaware's defense after Western Kentucky had first down inside the red zone, and what hurt them was that penalty on the first down on the first snap inside the 20-yard line.
It just throws your rhythm off. They tried to hurry up there, sudden change after the big play to get Delaware's defense kind of off balance. It didn't work. They had a legal procedure. So in a sense, they hurt themselves there. It was the first penalty of the game, and obviously then the first one on Western Kentucky. But I think that just threw them out of rhythm. Then they tried to run the Wildcat. They flushed out of the pocket a couple of times, forced a throwaway, and then a great tackle in the open field by Blake Matthews. Burge Malumba, playing for the injured Dylan Traynor, already has 4 tackles, Scott. He's been terrific.
He's been great. So you have linebackers that have to fill the role of Dylan Traynor. Then you talked about Blake Matthews on that last drive as well. He's playing much better this season than last when he had 16 tackles. Did not play at Colorado, did Matthews with an injury, but already 7 tackles coming into the year for Matthews, and he had one on that last drive. We're only 5 seconds into the second quarter. Delaware to get the football for the third time coming up after a kick from Jack Cassidy. Delaware went 75 yards on their opening drive, 3 and out on their second drive. This last drive for Western Kentucky went 8 plays, 55 yards, taking up 3:36 of the first quarter clock. That field goal to start the second quarter. 14:55 left in the first half. Packed house, sold out here on national television. Weekday CUSA. Spray painted on the turf. Back to return is Kelly. 1 foot into the end zone, takes out the 10, sprints to the 20-yard line, and brought down. I thought he was brought down. He somehow stayed up momentarily around the 20-yard line, first contact. And he's not the biggest of guys, but he carried a few to the 25, so the Hens will take over at the 25-yard line.
I love Kelly because he is what I call a north-south puncture runner. Takes the kickoff on the move, gets as much velocity as he can find. He's looking for a gap to expose. And when he takes it, he does. And he kept his feet running there, as you mentioned. Probably gave him an extra 5 yards.
Minicucci 4 of 10 in this one so far. Does have a rushing touchdown. And Ellison will be next to him to start this drive. Tosses outside. Ball is caught by Wilson. He had 7 catches a week ago, or 2 weeks ago now, at FIU. And he gets to the 30, second down and 5. They've had several second down and 5 scenarios so far today.
That's what they say is keeping you on schedule. Moving the chains, it makes it easier. 2nd and 5 is a lot better than 2nd and 7 or 8. Nick Minicucci's getting the ball out very quickly, and if Western Kentucky has a problem at times, they have tackled poorly in the open field.
It'll be Ellison with a big burst up the middle to the 39-yard line. He picks up 9 with a quick first step.
He is really developing his game. He has become a good blocker. He's a good pass receiver, now a really good runner. I love him. He found a fit on the inside zone. Steve Dabowski did a great job there with his initial block. Only a 4-man front. They may have to work to a 5 to stop this Delaware run game.
1st and 10 now. Minicucci again quickly to the outside. A pass is caught for guess how many yards, Bill? 5 on 1st down to Sean Wilson.
These are what you just call running cat. They're like extended run plays. We're getting the ball out quickly before that 4-man pressure. They had a twist stunt on that was picked up by Delaware's left side perfectly. Ball's exiting quickly. Receivers are having a chance to not only catch the ball, then make a break and tackle.
Silver comes in after Ellison was in as the running back to start the drive. And it'll be Silver. Wide to the 45, head down at midfield, and he picks up what should be enough of an angle to get a 1st down. We'll see where they spot it. It's going to be 3rd and less than a yard after the 5-yard run by Joe Silver.
Silver has terrific patience on that outside zone play. You've got to wait and set up the box and then turn on with a burst, which he did. It only took a great tackle over on the far sideline by Western Kentucky to stop him from a bigger run.
Here's Silver in motion. They go to him to pick up the yard, and it's going to be close. He was wrapped up. I believe they're going to give him momentum to the 50-yard line. They only need a yard, and they will move the sticks. And I believe Jaden Hardy was there to make the tackle. Good wrap-up, but got the 3 feet.
Hardy's a big boy. He plays in there. He's becoming a 4-down player, 3-down player, I should say, for them. He's got great size, 6'3", 324 from Savannah, Georgia. Played at Grambling for 4 years.
Ball at the 50 for Minicucci on 1st down. Throws near side of the field. Max Patterson with his first reception. Gets about 8 to the 42-yard line.
It's nice to see Max get a couple of receptions last week. I've been waiting for him to get some more time. He's starting to get involved a little bit more on the offense. That was a really good throw across the field there on a deep out pattern. Patterson did a great job of squaring his shoulders and getting the reception from Nick Minicucci, who continues to not only be accurate, but just getting the ball out on time.
DeMarco Williams stumbles off. A Newark urgent care injury stoppage for him to get off the field. He was a big-time senior safety for the Hilltoppers. Will be without him at least for this snap. 2nd down and 2. 11:55. Second quarter action. Delaware leads 7-3. Minicucci, low snap, picks it up, tosses, man open, caught for a 1st down, and it's Wilson again. This time to the 36-yard line. So Delaware moving the chains once more.
When you get the ball out quickly, it gives your receivers in space an opportunity to make a move. There was another missed tackle by one of their best players, their leading tackler, Jalen Wester, who just fanned on it because the ball gets there early. You can get your shoulders turned, and it makes it very difficult. So Delaware's done that. That had been a 2-yard gain. It turns into about a 6-yard gain. So really good offense here. Very crisp and sharp coming out of the bye week is Delaware.
1st and 10 once again on this drive. As Duplessis goes in motion to the near side. Minicucci looking right. It's Sessoms, his first grab, and the big fella jumps over a defender for 10.
I think people forget how athletic Elijah Sessoms is. 6'3", 250, Dover, Delaware, played at Dover High School. A great all-round athlete down there. Really good feet in open spaces. He has not only become a good blocker, but he is developing into a really nice short yardage receiver.
And Bill, I'm seeing Donovan Lewis out there for the first time. He's been injured all season. I think I'm seeing 8-7. That wide receiver split out to the right. 1st and 10. Ball at the 26-yard line. Delaware up 7-3. Minicucci will keep. He's tucking, looking for an angle as he gets to the 20, sprinting, and tripped up as he gets into the red zone at the 17.
When Nick Minicucci can get his shoulders turned downhill, you're typically not going to bring him down with the first tackler. He actually stepped over that tackle. You would call that about a missed tackle by Western Kentucky. Again, Delaware forcing the action here, being really aggressive, expanding the field in both directions horizontally, and then taking a shot vertically.
5 minutes into the second quarter. Delaware in the red zone for the second time tonight. In the pistol. Minicucci, Silver behind him. They'll fake the give to Silver. Misdirection on the sprint. It's Nick Tyree. Spins out into the 10-yard line, 9-yard line. Tyree, when he's in, you got to keep your eye on the speedy redshirt freshman from Chester, Virginia.
Misdirection, motions, shifts. Delaware's got it all going here, and a terrific block out on the backside as the runner got to him by Cal Duplessis. Did a great job of squaring his shoulders, allowing the defender to take an inside track that developed into an extra 5 yards.
1st and goal to go from the 9. Silver to the left of Minicucci. Thal in motion behind Minicucci. They'll fake to him. Rolling out is Minicucci. Throws to Silver. Pass caught at the 7. At the 6, inside the 5 is Joe Silver. And Delaware will have its second goal to go from the 4.
Brian Carty, the head coach and play caller, is in great rhythm. Minicucci is executing extremely well. The motions, the shifts, as I mentioned, it's really got Western Kentucky confused. I'm a little surprised they haven't taken a defensive timeout because they are on their heels, and the way Delaware is playing, they have to make some quick adjustments.
Second down, goal to go from the 4. Pistol formation. Minicucci gives to Silver, changes direction, grabbed by his jersey as he tried to spin out of a tackle and brought down for a loss of 1. I believe Harper Holloman got in there and snatched the jersey of Joe Silver. In fact, it was he and Rylan Ciefalo,
I think, was there first, but I'll tell you what, this Harper Holloman can really play. He's a young guy, only a sophomore. He's one of their edge players who's going to have to find ways to get pressure on Minicucci, but he's very active along the line of scrimmage.
3rd down, goal to go from the 6. Motioning out is Silver. Shotgun snap, Minicucci looking, throwing, that's going to be intercepted. Oh no, he dropped it! He dropped it! Minicucci was staring down Joe Silver and stepping in front of the pass for what looked to be an easy interception was Jai Eugene. And I don't know if he dropped it or Silver broke it up. Perhaps Silver got a hand in there late.
Silver definitely did. And that was, sometimes as a receiver, you've got to become a defender. Minicucci made the fatal mistake of eyeballing it. That was a foul route. They had Sessoms going first with Silver coming behind and breaking outside. Well defended by Western Kentucky, but then a really smart play by Silver to knock the ball out.
23-yard try for the field goal, and Reed gets it up and through. Lead back to 7 for the Hens. Your first at ortho.com timeout score after a 14-play, 69-yard drive. Delaware 10, Western Kentucky 3. Back in a moment on 94.7 WDSD.
Football season is here, and Acme is your home turf for big savings and even bigger prizes. All season long, buy participating products and receive touchdown tokens to redeem for entries into the Swoop and Win sweepstakes, where you could win a pair of 2026 Eagles season tickets, autographed Eagles merch, or more. Download the Acme app to get in the game now. No purchase necessary. See official rules for details at acmemarkets.com/swoopinandwin. Football is better at Acme, the official supermarket of the Philadelphia Eagles.
The Barnes & Noble UD Big Store, located right on Main Street in Newark, has everything you need to show your Blue Hens spirit. Or visit online at shopbluehens.com.
You build homes, fix leaks, paint dreams, and your brand should look just as sharp. At Instant Imprints, we turn your logo into a local legend. From yard signs and custom uniforms to vehicle wraps and door hangers, we make sure your business gets noticed, remembered, and respected. Because your brand deserves the royal touch. Instant Imprints, where you're treated like royalty. Contact Instant Imprints today. Visit instantimprints.com or email Wilmington@instantimprints.com.
New Ark Urgent Care is Delaware's only 24/7 urgent care center and the only certified level 1 urgent care center in our country. 324 Main Street, Newark. NewarkUrgentCare.org.
A new era of FBS football continues on 94.7 WDSD FM and iHeartRadio.
Delaware leads at 10-3 after a 14-play, 69-yard drive that ends in a field goal try of 23 yards from Nate Reed. Scott Glasgow, Bill Harmon with you. We'll hear from Nick Austrini in a moment. Talk about our home field advantage. It's a big one tonight. Brought to you by Lang Development. College is short. Live it the best. Live it Lang. And leasing season in full swing with over 500 apartments around campus. Finding your perfect place with Lang Development. Explore your options today at langdevelopmentgroup.com. This is the perfect place on a Friday night. I know that. Delaware Stadium. And for more on that, Nick Austrini is on the sideline. Nick?
Yeah, thanks, Scott. Been on the sideline now for a few years, but again, there's only a select few nights, if not any, that match this electricity here in Newark tonight. The crowd is full. I don't see many seats open on the far side, the near side. The student section is now filled up. Took a little bit to get in here after the first quarter there, just tailgating a little bit on Parents and Family Weekend, but we're now dipping into the high 50s here as the temperature's starting to drop. This is what you dream about. Perfect football weather. My man sitting here in the front row has shoulder pads on, guys, with a Delaware Joe Flacco jersey. This is the kind of electricity we were hoping for, and we got it with the Hens on national television.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nick. Really, I mean, you never know what the turnout's going to be. It's Friday. It's different. You could not ask for better than what the scene is here in Newark as Reed kicks this one into the end zone for yet another touchback. And they're wearing, they marketed the blue out. And again, how many people got the memo? Is it going to be all blue? I mean, it is a sea of blue all around this stadium. Certainly we're facing what is the east stands. We're on top of what are the west stands. So even looking on what is the far side of the field behind Western Kentucky, all blue, not very many seats at all available in this one. It's what you'd hope for and why you moved up to FBS to playing games like this. Western Kentucky, after holding Delaware to a field goal, back on the field. Pressure comes from the left side. McIver gets it off in the nick of time with a screen pass caught by Cameron Flowers. Flowers' second touch of the day. Picked up 2, 2nd and 8.
What a really another great play by Blake Matthews in perfect position. They love these wide receiver screens, the tunnel screens, the tear screens. They're all subtly different, but Delaware has played them very well. Manny Rojas, our defensive coordinator, dialing up some early pressure.
He's got him ready. 7:30. Halfway down the second quarter as McIver takes a snap. Throws on the crosser to Flowers again. Another catch on a first down for Western Kentucky as Flowers gets to the 36-yard line.
They love to throw the ball short and then get a lot of yards after the catch. Yards after the catch. They're very good at breaking tackles. They've got excellent speed. They're hoping to find little voids in your zone to take advantage of as they run those low crossers.
Flowers, 3 catches now in the ball game, leads the team in that category, tied with Hutchinson, who also has 3. First down and 10. All day for McIver. Now steps up in the pocket, throws on the run. It's a jump ball. KT Say was there. Well defended, incomplete. That's a hard play to make for KT Say when you're on an island with a guy, not to grab him, not to make a penalty, not to get a holding call there. And he went toe-to-toe at around the 20-yard line after a bomb.
He certainly did, and he used his trail arm, not his lead arm. His lead arm was up distracting the receiver as the throw came. That was a really good throw by McIver. On the move, almost getting tackled about 45 yards down the field.
Second down and 10 after the incomplete pass again. KT Say making a difference. So put it on the turf and on the ground, about a 5-yard pickup to the 41-yard line as they continue to work in different running backs. George Hart, one of 3 backs we'll call the name of tonight.
They love to run different guys in, but I'll tell you what, in the clutch, the power back will be right, and that scat back will be Parrish, who's also, as we've mentioned, a really good receiver out of the backfield.
Hilltoppers need 5. Hutchinson in motion. They like to go to him on 3rd down. They will again. He'll get the first down pickup and a whole lot more into Delaware territory. KT Say with the push out, but not until Hutchinson gets to the 44-yard line in Delaware territory. That is the 3rd first down catch for Katie Hutchinson.
That time they move the pocket on a little quick roll to the right. All the linemen are out in front. It gives McIver a lot of room. This Katie Hutchinson is really quick. He's from Alabama, and he's a great receiver, especially on the short routes. He can turn 2-yard gains into 20-yard gains.
Up to 21 catches on the year. That leads 10-3. And a big hole for Hart was open from a hole. We'll see as a flag is thrown. He picks up 12 to the 32-yard line, but a flag thrown very quickly at the start of play. He could have driven that Delaware Conference USA equipment truck through that hole.
Illegal formation. More than 4 players in the backfield. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Well, it's a penalty against the Hilltoppers. I guess the big hole was earned, but a penalty with too many in the backfield.
Well, there was a terrific block by the right guard, Quincy Jenkins, on the edge to free him up. They did. This is a mistake you make sometimes when you have a receiver out who hasn't checked with the official. It's on the top side. It was Quincy Burrows with the misalignment. There's one of those big penalties that brings back a pretty good play. Not a huge play, but a good play on first down.
First down and 15 after the second penalty of the day for Western Kentucky. They'll go back to the ground, this time wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Gavin Moll is there first.
They run counter trey. They pull the backside guard and tackle from the left side. There is nothing there. Gavin Moll diagnosed that perfectly. He got a terrific read because he sees the hi-hats pulling his way. He has a great fit. Terrific play. Keyshawn Hunter also doing a great job of withstanding that double team to hold his ground to allow Moll to make the play.
He's second down and 15. No gain. Under 5 minutes. Second quarter. Delaware leads 10-3. Man goes in motion. It's Flowers out of the shotgun. McIver rolling to his left. Turns his shoulder. Fires downfield looking for Flowers. Incomplete. Pollard was there, but making sure the pass landed on the turf was the freshman Jamarian Calabote.
Calabote did a great job of getting over the top. You were absolutely right. Low defender was in great position, but coming over the top and getting that last hand in is a young man from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Crowd making noise on 3rd and 15. Three to the left for McIver. He needs 15 yards. Being pressured. Steps up in the pocket. Pumps. Throws. Passes. Caught. It's Flowers again. This time at the 26. Way to keep your eyes downfield. Maverick McIver under duress.
You must be a quarterback coach because that's exactly what a quarterback coach would say. Keep your eyes riveted downfield. Don't worry about the rush. I'll tell you what, he was about 1 inch from being beyond the line of scrimmage. A great recognition by McIver to know when to throw it.
1 inch away from crossing that line, and they might review it. I think it's going to be a completed pass because as long as some part of the body, I believe, is behind the line of scrimmage. The official's mic was not on there, but I think he was describing that they are going to look at whether or not he crossed the line of scrimmage. It looked like in real time, bang, bang play. As long as something is behind the line of scrimmage, which I believe was about the 49.5-yard line, then you're good to go. And I think that's going to be a complete pass as they look at it. It should be
It's a really good challenge, though, by Ryan Carty. If there's ever a time to use one, this is it.
He was about a foot away from the penalty. He was about a half a second away from Dominic Bronya knocking that ball out of his hands. So a great play by Maverick McIver, who's one of the top quarterbacks, if not the top quarterback at least so far in Conference USA. As they look at things, a reminder that when the Hens win, that means you win. Built by Blue Hens for Blue Hens. Grain on Main Street and Grain Exchange on Star Campus are giving you a free appetizer with your meal. Show your game day ticket or the Hens win, you win social media post and celebrate the victory. Let's go Hens. That Star Campus location right across the way from Delaware Stadium. Got a little Sweet Caroline going on here at Delaware Stadium. Reminds me of my Red Sox, whose season ended.
Sorry about that. Great performance by that rookie last night for the Yankees.
Well, the rookie for the Yankees pitched against Delaware. He was a Northeastern guy.
I did not know that.
There you go. It all ties back to the Hens. I was going somewhere with it, that's for sure. Bill Harmon's with me. I'm Scott Klatsky. Nick Alstrini's on the sideline. The longer they look at this, the more maybe it goes towards the Blue Hens way. If this was a quick look, it probably would have been an easier one to say, call the field confirmed. But they're continuing to look. He starts his motion. We're getting a couple replays here in the booth. He starts his motion behind the line of scrimmage or adjacent to it, but did he release it as he was climbing the pocket and running forward? By the time he released, I think his foot, and we're getting some great views here on a night where this game is televised. We appreciate you listening to us on 94.7 WDSD. It looks like they've reviewed.
There is no conclusive evidence that the quarterback was beyond the line of scrimmage Therefore, the play is upheld. First down.
Scotty, that's what I was afraid of. It has to be conclusive evidence, and it was so close that I think the human eye is going to just be too hard to tell. So
I think they got it. I think they got it
right, but I thought it was a really smart challenge by Ryan Carty.
Heck of a play by Maverick McIver, who's now 10 of 14, 121.
He's made more plays outside the pocket tonight than I was expecting.
Maybe Delaware expecting either. Big pickup there for 23 yards. It counts. The reverse misdirection. Hutchinson looking for space, none there. Makes some of his own with a cutback to the 21-yard line, but good pursuit by Delaware. Make sure that doesn't go for much.
They keep probing that trap. Counter Trey that time with the right guard Jenkins and the tight end Evans getting across there to do some blocking. So they're really trying some different stuff to try to attack Delaware's right side.
Screen pass. I don't know if Delaware had enough bodies over there to defend it well, and it's going to be enough for a first down run after catch by Katie Hutchinson. It's something you described for our listeners earlier. They like those quick strikes and then yak yards.
Yes, they do, and it does a couple things. Number one, it forces your defense to come up and play more press. Now you can eventually run by them. Number two, it gets the ball out of the quarterback's hands very quickly, and they're typically easy throws.
Well, they had trips over there. It looked like Jason Scott was a little late getting over there to make a play. 3 minutes, 5 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Delaware up by a touchdown. McIver looking to tie things up. His pass across the field is caught at the 10-yard line, wrapped up right where he caught it by Kayshawn Cox, was Matthew Henry. Henry had a big catch to set up Western Kentucky for their only score in the first quarter.
Another local boy from Bridgeville, Delaware, though. He played football at Wise High School in Maryland. This Kayshawn Cox has really developed into a good cover man and a good tackler. Henry is a difficult guard and a tough guy to bring down with one person after the catch.
And subbing in, Saunders and Carica. Two seniors, two vets. Some movement by Delaware on the defensive line. There's some space on the right side and brought down at the 6-yard line by Jason Scott was Lavelle Wright. So fourth down. No, they gave him the first down here. Excuse me, I apologize. There was some changing of the markers as he got to the 5-yard line. So it is first down. It is goal to go for Western Kentucky. They'll play it all the way to the 2-minute timeout. So we'll take a break. Western Kentucky knocking on the door of a tie score. But in the meantime, firstanortho.com timeout score. Delaware 10, Western Kentucky 3 at the 2-minute media timeout here in the second.
For over 4 decades, Concord Pet Food and Supplies has been a leader in quality and care in the pet community. As a family-owned business, they've strengthened the bond between pets and their owners across Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Maryland through 33 convenient locations. With perks like their frequent buyer program, enticing sales, and lively weekend events, Concord Pet goes the extra mile. What truly sets them apart is their invitation to bring pets along for the shopping experience. At Concord Pets, you're not just a customer, you're family.
Looking for an activity that promotes confidence and self-esteem? Look no further than Radiance Dance Studio, the official dance studio of the University of Delaware Blue Hens. Let your child's talent shine at danceradiantly.com.
Looking for that perfect hometown spot? BBC Tavern and Grill in Greenville is right on Kennett Pike. Visit bbctavernandgrill.com to check out the menu and plan your visit.
You build homes, fix leaks, paint dreams, and your brand should look just as sharp. At Instant Imprints, we turn your logo into a local legend. From yard signs and custom uniforms to vehicle wraps and door hangers, we make sure your business gets noticed, remembered, and respected. Because your brand deserves the royal touch. Instant Imprints, where you're treated like royalty. Contact Instant Imprints today. Visit instantimprints.com or email wilmington@instantimprints.com.
First date, first season, same station. 94.7 WDSD FM and iHeartRadio.
And welcome back into a packed house here at Delaware Stadium. Hens lead at 10-3, Western Kentucky. 12-play, 70-yard drive. It will continue after the 2-minute warning. I'm Scott Clashkin alongside Bill Harmonic. Alstrini on the sideline. He'll talk to Terrence Archer in about 2 minutes of game time, exactly 2 minutes of game time before heading into the locker room. Also a treat for you at the half. We're going to talk with Commissioner of Conference USA, Judy McLeod. She's here for weekday CUSA. We'll talk to her about having the Hens join her group of teams. She's very proud to have the blue and gold in her conference. So we'll talk to Judy McLeod at the half as well. We'll also hear from Benny Penelope. I feel there's going to be a lot of action before we get 2 minutes off this clock, and it starts here. First and goal to go from the 5. They like to go to Lavelle Wright in these situations.
They certainly do. They'll run him in a wildcat where he gets the direct snap. It'll be a handoff. They might even have a little trickery up down here. They've done a nice job. 6 different players have run the ball so far for Western Kentucky. The quarterback, 3 running backs, and 2 wide receivers. And very rarely do they go under. MacGyver is under the center.
And here we go, under center. McIver, Hutchinson in motion. It'll be Hutchinson running wide, and he should be able to walk in untouched. He will, giving chase late, but too late was Nate Evans, and a touchdown for Western Kentucky, a chance to tie this score.
Well, as we mentioned, they very rarely go under. They did. They run the speed sweep to the left. Delaware just completely out-leveraged there. A nice play call coming out of the 2-minute timeout for Western Kentucky to get their first touchdown of the night.
And so we've seen the speedster Hutchinson with the ball in his hands a whole bunch so far today. Gets a touchdown there. Second carry of the game. He's got 5 catches as well. He's come up big for the Hilltoppers. And once again, that's now 87 in a row for John Cannon, making on the PAT. So we got a tie one here in Newark. 10-10 is the count. It's your first at ortho.com. Timeout scores. We're taking another second quarter break on 94.7 WDSD.
The new school year is finally here, and that means more than 130,000 students are returning to classrooms across Delaware. Providing each student with the high-quality education they deserve takes teamwork. Teachers, specialists, paraprofessionals, counselors, nurses, custodians, secretaries, food service workers, bus drivers, and more all help build a brighter future. Start the school year off right by nominating an all-star in education at dsea.org. This message brought to you by the Delaware State Education Association.
Instant imprints for yard signs, uniforms, wraps, and more. Make sure your business gets noticed, remembered, and respected, because your brand deserves the royal touch. Instant imprints, where you're treated like royalty.
Tired of leash pulling, barking, or puppy mayhem? Sit Me and Sit Dog Training has real solutions for real families. Book your free consultation today at sitmeandsit.com.
Football season is here, and Acme is your home turf for big savings and even bigger prizes. All season long, buy participating products and receive touchdown tokens to redeem for entries into the Swoop and Win sweepstakes, where you could win a pair of 2026 Eagles season tickets, autographed Eagles merch, or more. But that's not all. Shop wearing your Eagles gear on game day and score an extra 5% off your in-store purchase of $20 or more. Football is better at Acme, the official supermarket of the Philadelphia Eagles.
94.7 WDSD FM and iHeartRadio. Your home for Blue Hens football.
Western Kentucky goes 13 plays, 75 yards, takes up 6 minutes in the second quarter clock. It all ends in the hands of K.D. Hutchinson, his first rushing touchdown of the season, 4th touchdown overall for the Hilltoppers. And for more on the redshirt junior from Alabama, Nick Alstrini is on the sideline. Nick?
Yeah, thanks, Scott. Hutchinson, quite the player for Western Kentucky. He's only 5'6", but weighs 180 pounds, and they have a whole page dedicated to him in the game notes that's just entitled Freak Show. He does 20 reps on the bench press at 225 pounds. He squatted over 450 pounds. How about this vertical? 41 inches, and then hit over 22 miles per hour in terms of speed on the GPS. So he checks off all those boxes. He's someone that might dominate that NFL combine down the road, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. He is a freak show in the kindest of ways, the most complimentary of ways, what he's been able to do. All-Conference USA rookie team, wide receiver, and punt returner in 2023. Last season, he got 25 catches. This year, he's almost hit that mark. He's got 5 already today, 22 on the season. So a tie score, 10-10. Delaware led 7-0. Then it was 7-3, 10-3, and that touchdown drive led by a big pass by McIver on a 3rd down. Makes it 10-10. Of course, Hutchinson with the sweep to tie the score. But plenty of time for Delaware. 3 timeouts left and 1:55 on the clock. Kickoff is returnable. Pollard is there, waiting for it at the 4. Looking for some space at the 20. Cuts it back, 25, now 30, on his feet, 35, and great field position for Delaware as he gets brought down at the 39-yard line. What a weapon Mason Pollard is in the special teams game.
He certainly is. He got upfield in a hurry and then had a couple of literal jump cuts, which doesn't happen very often on a kickoff return, but making tacklers miss, gives himself some additional yards. He's really hard to tackle. Feet always moving, eyes down the field, looking for the next hole.
1:47 for the Hens. 3 timeouts left. Minicucci is the quarterback. Nick the boy will go in motion. Caught 2 touchdowns against FIU. Minicucci in the pocket. Looking, diving. Did he come up with it? Yes! What a grab by Kelly in traffic, sliding on the turf to secure it. And now the Hens have in Western Kentucky territory at the 43.
Minicucci had some pressure in his face, but hung in there just long enough for Kelly to work himself across.
Going quickly. Delaware, Minicucci again, sideline this time, spins it, back shoulder of the boy was held up. That's a flag on Western Kentucky. And Delaware moving the football with 1:29.
Well, the penalties continue to hurt Western Kentucky at inopportune
Number
times.
6, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And for you NFL watchers, it's a spot foul in the NFL. It's a line of scrimmage foul, and you go whatever the distance is, in this case 15 yards for the PI, but a big gain there for Delaware. A lot of pressure. They've got plenty of time, as you mentioned, all their timeouts, and the way, a little outpost formation here into the boundary.
They've got just Dembo as the guy that'll snap the football. Everybody else to the right side. Minicucci going to go the opposite way, coming back to get it, and incomplete. It goes to Duplessis. Describe that in a little bit more detail, Bill, what we saw.
So they've got 5 linemen over 4 linemen and a tight end over on the boundary with a running back. You've got 4 players in the middle of the field and then a wide receiver, Duplessis, out here, and they threw to him. So distract everybody. It's something I guarantee you they haven't seen. You're almost waiting for them to use a timeout. They did not.
Second down and 10. 84 seconds left in the first half. Delaware, Western Kentucky, tied at 10. Minicucci throwing, has Duplessis, and he's inside the 5.
Ball placement by Minicucci. Great concentration by Duplessis over on the sideline. Pretty good defense, but just too good offense from both the wide receiver, Duplessis, and the throw by Minicucci. A great blitz pickup there. He was going to have some pressure. And Silver stepped up and helped our right tackle out.
Drive started at 1:55. Now 1:18 left to play in the second quarter. And Delaware has it first and goal to go from the 5-yard line. Trying to retake the lead before heading into the locker room. In motion. Goes to Kelly. It's Silver bouncing around and reaching. He'll be stopped just shy inside the 1. With Delaware in position to work some clock and punch it in on second and goal from the 1.
And also not allow Western Kentucky to have any time here to respond. But a really nice faking action there by Delaware. This is so much fun to watch. Ryan Carty, I don't know where he comes up with this stuff, Scott. You got to ask him sometime on the show, but he really is extremely creative. Good ball handling there on that run, just to have Silver just short of the goal line.
They'll empty out the backfield on second and goal to go from the 1. Minicucci walks up, talks to his line, gets the snap under center, pushes his way forward. Did he get in? Waiting on a signal. And he's going to be shy of the goal line. The QB sneak, no one behind him to push him up like they do up the road in Philadelphia. But they're going to look at this one. Right now it's marked shy of the goal line.
One of the problems is when you don't go under a lot, that center quarterback exchange. I don't think Minicucci got the ball cleanly initially, and that may have slowed him up just a little bit. The ball ended up getting stuck on the Muskie's hip, and I think they may have slowed up the progress slightly.
A late reach from Minicucci. They have plenty of time to try this 2 more times. You're inches away, but they're going to take a look to see if this one counts. Because of, and this is some of the problems that they talk about on every sports show that there is, especially in this area in Philadelphia, is the touch push, everybody in the middle. You don't know where the ball is a lot of times. So if it's called not a touchdown right now, which it is, maybe hard to find an angle to reverse that.
There are just so many big bodies in there. It's impossible. When you come in from the side, at some point, I think they're going to develop some sort of tracking device inside the football that they'll use. It's got to be high tech. They've experimented with that in the past, but so far that hasn't really been used with any success.
Holloman kind of came in, a guy you talked about, and trying to pull him back, pull that momentum from Minicucci. So it's not going to be 6 for now, but 25 seconds, 2 timeouts, and a 3rd and goal to go for Delaware.
Assuming we score, I don't mind this because the clock continues to work down and leaves Western Kentucky with no opportunity. Let's not forget Western Kentucky getting the ball at the start of the second half. So this is a really important couple plays, obviously for the score, but also to negate that last touchdown.
Minicucci out of shotgun this time. We'll give it to Silver. Silver grinding his way. He's going to be held up, and he'll lose about a half a yard. Now they're back to the 1. And Delaware will let the clock run probably all the way down because it's 4th down. And goal to go from the 1. And they'll use a timeout to make sure the Western Kentucky does not have a chance to score. Clock stopped at 8, but Carty's still looking at this clock like he said, I didn't call it yet. So now we'll call it with 2 seconds. So the final play, now 1, they'll put on. The final play of the first half will either keep the score tied or have Delaware up 16 and then potentially 17-10 at the half. Delaware needed an inch, and, you kind of talked about it. Teams just don't go under center anymore. The days of just getting a fullback in there and powering through really are few and far between. So you give to Silver, and a nice shot by Western Kentucky. It's about the 1.5 yard line. It was on maybe the inch line, and so you lose almost a full yard there.
Well, if you remember, we ran 3 tight ends in down going the other way in the first quarter, shifted them, and then ran short side. I'm always saying, why not just run the same play again? It works so darn well. Ryan Carty did a really good job there. He took himself away from the huddle. He was looking at his massive play sheet to come up with a call.
And now Western Kentucky, seeing what Delaware will come out with, they'll call a timeout. Don't forget at the half, we'll talk with Conference USA Commissioner Judy McLeod, who's in Newark for a fantastic football game. They're going to start it on weekday CUSA, at least so far, on a Friday night. Will it be 10-10 at the half? Will it be 17-10 at the half? We'll find out in about 3 seconds of game clock, probably 60 seconds over the top. Can't ask for more than this. Packed house, exciting football game.
You're back next to me. Come on. That's the best part of it. No, Delaware is this has been a really fun game. This is big time Conference USA football. 2 really good teams going at it. Western Kentucky showing up well on the road. This is a team that has not played particularly well on the road for a really good team. Only a 500 record. They're giving Delaware everything they need here. Here we go.
Final play of the second quarter. Ellison is the back. Minicucci out of shotgun will keep it himself. And where have we seen that before? With zeros on the clock, Minicucci into the end zone. Delaware leads 16-10 as we get towards halftime.
Nick Minicucci almost looked like a high jumper there. He had Elijah Sessoms in front of him. We run left behind our terrific left tackle, O'Neal, and he jumps over the top, carries the ball in, had great ball security. Just a really great individual play by Nick Minicucci. He was not going to be denied there.
There's a flag on the play.
I think they were
celebration.
Offsides.
Okay.
I thought they might have been offsides.
We'll hear from it in a moment.
It's a touchdown. After the play is over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 62, offense. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the opening kickoff of the second half. We will do the try.
That's Anthony Kachese, who's excited. And why not? It's exciting. 16-10. I referenced where we've seen this before. Nick Minicucci, of course, with zeros on the clock in overtime against UConn. Same end zone scoring, and this time around he keeps it himself once more. Fewer yards, but it's still worth 6. Nick Minicucci gets Delaware up 16-10 on the final play of the second quarter. Nate Reed on for the PAT. Kick is up. And Delaware leads 17-10 at the break. An exciting first 30 minutes of football on a Friday night.
A game of big drives, a game of big plays, a game of quarterbacks playing at very high level. Two really well-coached teams going at it. What a great individual play by Nick Minicucci. Scott, while you were away, I consistently talk about Nick looks bigger than 6'2", 215 to me, the young man from Don Bosco. I tell you what, whatever weight he is in height, he uses it all, and that was a great example of just not going to be denied from scoring.
His size much bigger when it comes to toughness, that is for sure. Nick Minicucci leading the way, a 1-yard score, 8 plays, 46 yards to lead us into the locker room. The halftime report is up next, powered by Electricians Local 313. Keep jobs local and get the job done right the first time behind a local 313 electrician. Studio host Benny Pella has a first half recap with highlights and stats. Plus, we'll talk with offensive coordinator Terrence Archer and the commissioner of Conference USA, Judy McLeod, on the other side of this break. It's all coming up with the score. Delaware 17, Western Kentucky 10 at the break on your home for Blue Hens football, 94.7 WDSD-FM and iHeartRadio.
Whether you're tailgating at home or catching every play at Grotto Pizza, we've got your weekend game plan covered. Sundays are for wings, and at Grotto, it's half-price wings all day for Sunday Fun Day. Kick off your weekend with brunch Saturdays and Sundays 11 to 3. And don't miss our game day menu, packed with MVPs like the Nashville Hot Chicken Nachos, Jalapeno Pepperoni Bread, the Stadium Dog, and Philly Pretzel Bites. Grotto Pizza is your home field for flavor. Visit GrottoPizza.com for the full lineup.
Sports injury got you feeling blue? Trust your care to the specialists taking care of the Delaware Blue Hens. Delaware orthopedic specialists are trained physicians and surgeons practicing only in their areas of expertise, making them Delaware's trusted specialists. Better surgeons mean better outcomes. Find out more at delortho.com. That's delortho.com. Delaware Orthopedic Specialists, the official orthopedic partner of University of Delaware Athletics.
Everyone knows how devastating electrical fires can be, and the fact is, the leading cause of electrical fires is work done by unlicensed workers. With a local 313 electrician, you're sure to get the job done right the first time. Hiring a local 313 electrician keeps jobs local and on time with quality craftsmanship, and our partnership with the National Electrical Contractors Association assures that our electricians are fully licensed and safe. After all, it's the law. Keep our community safe and hire only locally licensed electricians. Local 313.
Delaware football on WDSD is at the Hens. Welcome into the Blue Hens Football Halftime Report, powered by Electricians Local 313. Keep jobs local and get the job done right the first time by hiring a local 313 electrician.
Ends up 7 at the half over the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky here on 94.7 WDSD. I'm your studio host, Benny Pinella. What a first half. Bit of a track meet between these two, and we're going to dive right into it. Hens, Hilltoppers. Delaware would get the ball to start. From their 25-yard line, they start, and facing a 3rd and 5 early on. Jake Thaw, welcome back. He'd reel in a 33-yard to the Hilltopper 37. Later, it's 3rd and 10. Jakari Kelly would pick up 11 and a first down, jumping ahead in the drive. 3rd and 7 at the Western Kentucky 23. And Connor Whittoff would rumble forward for 8 and a first. Another 3rd down, 3rd and 4. The Hilltopper 9 later on this one. And Minicucci would use his legs for another first. And he used his legs again for something a little bit better than a first down.
Last time out against FIU. Hens going big with Sessoms. Also in the ball game, Jackson Whitaker, the sophomore from New Jersey. Out of the pistol, Minicucci has Silver behind him. 3rd, goal to go from the 2. The tight ends go in motion. All 3 of them to the right side. Minicucci gets a snap. Will run to the left and score. Crosses the goal line in Delaware. An opening drive for 6.
That touchdown to open things up would put Delaware up 7-0, 15 plays, 75 yards, 6:24 taken off the clock, 8:36 left in the first. The Hens hit pay dirt early. On the Western Kentucky drive, the next one, the Hens would keep the pedal to the metal, forcing a fumble and stopping that drive, but the Hens not able to get anything out of theirs. Meanwhile, Western Kentucky with 4:22 left in the first. The Hens take back over at their 36-yard line after the fumble, but with 3:31 left, the Hilltoppers would take back over and go driving again. 3rd and 12 at the 20. Maverick McIver would scramble for 14. Next play, McIver, he would find Matthew Henry for 48 yards. All of a sudden, the Hilltoppers are on the Hens' red zone, but Delaware's defense would stiffen, and 3rd and 12 at the 20. Western Kentucky would face a tough Delaware D.
Noah McIver, 7th-year man out of Central High School in Texas. 3rd and 12. Ball to Delaware 20. McIver takes the snap, pumps again, finds his man. He's going to be wrapped up for a loss. On the tackle is Blake Matthews. And a field goal unit going to have to come on for the Hilltoppers.
That stop would end the first quarter, and the drive for Western Kentucky forcing a field goal to start the second. It would be a good 41-yarder by John Cannon with 14:55 left in the half. 8 plays, 55 yards, 3:36 taken off the clock. Western Kentucky gets a field goal and draws it to just a 4-point lead for Delaware. Flashing forward, the Hens take over at their 25, and Delaware gets rolling. 2nd and 5, Ellison would pick up 9 after an 8-yarder catch by Max Patterson. 3rd and 2, Sean Wilson would grab a 6-yarder and get a first down there. 4 more plays would get 32 more yards for Delaware to Hilltopper 8. The Hens, it'd be held by Western Kentucky. Nate Reed would knock through a 23-yard field goal. Delaware back up 7, 10-3. 14 plays, 69 yards, 6:52 taken off the clock, 7:55 left. Delaware back up a touchdown, but we're back and forth in this one, and Western Kentucky taking back over and adding to this contest. 2nd and 9 from the 32. Cameron Flowers would reel in a 9-yarder for the first. Later, 3rd and 5, MacGyver would find Katie Hutchinson for 15. Then it's 3rd and 15 later in this drive. MacGyver again would find Flowers for 23. All the way to the Hens' 25-yard line. 4 more plays for Western Kentucky, get 21 yards as the Hilltoppers look to tie this up.
And here we go, under center. MacIver, Hutchinson in motion. It'll be Hutchinson running wide, and he should be able to walk in untouched. He will, giving chase late, but too late was Nate Evans, and a touchdown for Western Kentucky, a chance to tie this score.
They would, 10-10 after a 13-play, 75-yard drive would take 6 minutes off the clock. 1:55 left, and we're back to square one in this one. But Delaware's offense, here they come with 147 left. Delaware goes driving, a great 2-minute drill here. 1st and 10, Jakari Kelly from the Hens 39 would pick up 18. The Hens would then get 15 on a Hilltopper pass interference. The next play, the Hens would get a whole lot more. Duplessis would get a 23-yard catch. That would set up Delaware at goal to go for the Hens. And after 3 tries, a Delaware touchdown for Nick Minicucci.
Final play of the second quarter. Ellison is the back. Minicucci out of shotgun will keep it himself. And where have we seen that before? With zeros on the clock, Minicucci into the end zone. Delaware leads 16-10.
17-10 with the extra point. 8 plays, 46 yards, 147 taken off the clock. And at halftime, Delaware up a touchdown. Western Kentucky will get the ball to start the second half. So that's how we got to our score right here. We're going to take a break and check the out-of-town scoreboard, and you're going to hear a couple of interviews right here on 94.7 WDST.
When it comes to after-school activities, there's no better place than Hockessin Athletic Club. Kids ages 3 through 13 get 1 weekly dance, tumbling, or martial arts class, and 1 weekly youth sports class included with every family membership. Plus, Hack now offers parent-taught classes for kids as young as 18 months. And don't worry, parents. Hack's got an unmatched selection of fitness equipment and programs for adults, too. Get everything you want, all under one roof at Hockessin Athletic Club. Schedule a tour today at hachhealthclub.com.
Is your rent too high? Is it time to leave the nest, or do you just need more space than your current place offers? It might be time to buy a home. The Delaware State Housing Authority has programs that make home ownership quick, affordable, and easy. And they're not just for first-time buyers. Repeat home buyers can take advantage of these incentives too. DSHA can help with down payment and closing cost assistance, plus offer competitive interest rates. They'll even connect you with trusted lenders and realtors to guide the way. All you need is a credit score of 620 to get started. With programs like these, home ownership is closer than you think.
Crisp air, cozy vibes, and comfort food. Fall is here, and BBC Tavern and Grill is serving up the season. Right on Kennett Pike in Greenville, they're your hometown spot for scratch beef favorites, like the famous corn and crab soup and hot soft pretzels with homemade mustards. Catch the game on the 12-inch TVs, enjoy one of their 16 beers on tap, and over 50 more in bottles and cans. Brunch on weekends on the dog-friendly patio, and fall flavors you'll crave. Visit bbctavernandgrill.com to learn more. BBC Tavern and Grill, where autumn tastes like home.
You're listening to the Blue Hens Football Halftime Report on 94.7 WDSD FM and iHeartRadio. Powered by Electricians Local 313. Keep jobs local and get the job done right the first time by hiring a Local 313 electrician.
Welcome back to the Blue Hens Halftime Show. Delaware up 17-10 over the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky. Earlier tonight, Scott Klatskin got a chance to sit down with the Conference USA Commissioner. You're going to hear it right here, Indy McLeod on 94.7 WDSD.
It's halftime here at Delaware Stadium. Scott Klatskin with a very special guest here on a weekday CUSA game, Judy McLeod, the Commissioner of Conference USA. Thank you so much for taking some time to talk with our fans here in Delaware that are so excited to be in this conference. They've gotten off to a great start. Just national attention, like a Friday night football game here in Newark. It's been wonderful for the Blue Hens fans, but let's get it from your perspective. How have you enjoyed having Delaware a part of your conference?
I mean, it's been fantastic. You know, every time we put a new member in, there's always some unknown, and we think we plan really well and get the right people and everything else, but Delaware has delivered on every level, so we can't be more happy that they're here.
Well, I know our fans are pumped up. It started this summer. We were in a video game for the first time, and our fans got to play as Delaware. Now they get to see Delaware play not only on Saturdays, but now on Friday nights, Wednesday nights coming up, and it's just so neat, the attention that your teams are getting in Conference USA. Talk to me a little bit about just the success of weekday CUSA.
Yeah, this is our third year, I believe. To be honest, we were pretty nervous, when we kind of kicked this off. We went to our football coaches first and said, hey, are you guys going to be able to buy into this? Or, because if you roll something out that they're not in favor of, that's not going to be a good fit. And so they were like, if we can get national exposure on the night that other people aren't playing, let's go. And so we were like, okay, we're doing this. And obviously went through our ADs and our presidents, but it's really exceeded my expectations. The TV ratings we've been getting have been excellent. People that, I haven't talked to in years are texting me on a Wednesday night, hey, I'm watching your game, are you there? And so, we can buy that exposure. And for our league that, it's gone through a number of changes, but starting to gel together, it's really important to get out there, so people know who's in Conference USA. It's an exciting brand of football. Last year, almost every weeknight game was like 7 points or less, and a lot of points scored. So we're just really excited and can't wait to have our first, or being here for the first one here in Delaware. Yeah, well, the fans are pumped up, and Coach Carty referred to it, and I thought it was so great, and I didn't think of it in this regard, but at the coaches show, he called it the hotel game. Every team that plays tomorrow is in a hotel tonight, and this game's going to be on because it's one of the few games available, and you turn on a Wednesday night, on a Friday night, watching Conference USA. Fantastic. Here with the Commissioner, Judy McLeod of Conference USA. So important, the product on the field, but also so important is the lives of these student athletes off of the field as well, and been so impressed with the Conference USA mental health initiatives. Tell our listeners a little bit about that. Yeah, probably 3 or 4 years ago, our student athlete advisory group, first said, hey, we want to, or I think I went to them and said, you guys want to talk about this? Wait a minute, you really want to talk about it? And I was like, yeah, we got to get to the place where whether you sprain your ankle or you've got some mental health issues, both of them get treated. And the stigma around it needs to go away because it's real. I joke with them, like, when I was a student athlete, we didn't have social media, so that'll age me a bit, but so many things that they deal with in just society right now. It's so important to be open with that and get help when you need it. And so it started with our student athletes, and they've been incredibly engaged with it as we've moved through different phases of the program. We do green out games to raise awareness. We've done a student athlete spot that we run during the games to talk about mental health and the stigma and how we just all need to talk about it. And then we've provided resources where different companies can come in and offer, whether it's training to coaches, we're not expecting them to solve the issue, but they need to have awareness, they need to be supportive, and they need to know where to send people if they need some help. So a lot of different things that we want to continue to build on, but feel like we've been out in front for a while now and really enthused when we hear things back like, I think this is working, people are listening, coaches are more open, those kind of things. And, as athletes, everybody's competitive and it's hard to put that aside. It's hard to, shake it off and just go has been the mantra forever. So we want everybody to be healthy and they're way more productive when they are. So it's been a great initiative, but we're going to continue to keep the focus on that.
So important, and what you're doing for these student athletes is so important, and I know they appreciate it as well. Talking with Judy McLeod, the Commissioner of Conference USA, here at the half at Delaware Stadium. Delaware taking on Western Kentucky. And lastly, I'll tell you what, this being a Blue Hens broadcast, the Hens have made Conference USA look pretty good so far. Sometimes you bring in new teams, you don't want them to be at the bottom. Have you been impressed with even the start of Delaware so far this season at 3-1?
Yeah, I really have. Coach Cardi and Joe Silver and Dylan Traynor came to Media Day, and we were like, wow. Those two leaders on the team were just really impressive young men, and when you have a history of winning, even though you're moving up a level, I think it's easier to keep that culture and keep that alive. But been super impressive on the field. We like to pat ourselves on the back and say, hey, we picked the right one. And then we had Missouri State, go to Marshall and get a big win. And so our newbies are off to a great start, and we couldn't be more thrilled.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you taking some time to talk with our fans and to give us some of your time here at Delaware Stadium. Judy McLeod, thank you so much for being here in Newark.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it very much.
All right. That was Judy McLeod talking to us, the Commissioner of Conference USA. We'll take a timeout here on 94.7 WDSD.
That was great to hear from Judy McLeod, the Commissioner of Conference USA here on 94.7 WDSD. Now we hear from Terrence Archer at the half with Nick Alessandrini.
Nick Alessandrini now with his head coach, Terrence Archer. Coach, able to punch that one in. Minakuchi goes airborne for the score as time expires here in half number one. And one possession lead. His guys head in the locker room. What stood out to you?
It's just two really good football teams going back and forth. I thought we moved the ball well on offense. That was a big-time 2-minute drive there at the end to take the lead. The defense got us a takeaway, so, it's kind of what we expected. A one-possession game against a really good team.
Your keys to a victory here in the second half?
We got to play clean. If we don't turn the ball over, we'll be good. We got to tackle, block, attention to detail, take care of the football. We'll be fine.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right.
Delaware currently up over Western Kentucky 17-10. We'll take a break and bring you second half action right here on 94.7 WDSD.
Thanks for listening to the Blue Hens Football Halftime Report, powered by Electricians Local 313. Visit IBEWLocal313.org. We'll be right back with the start of the third quarter on 94.7 WDSD FM and iHeartRadio.
This is Emily Tesser, owner of Radiance Dance Studio and former UD Dance Team member. Help your aspiring dancer take their first steps towards letting their talent shine. Enroll them at Radiance Dance Studio, the official dance studio of the University of Delaware Blue Hens. Radiance Dance Studio offers a variety of camps, clinics, and classes in all dance genres located in the heart of Hockessin. Discover more and sign up now at danceradiantly.com and have their talent shine at Radiance Dance Studio.
If you've ever thought, my dog is sweet, but totally out of control, you are not alone. Whether it's puppy chaos or leash aggression, Sit Means Sit dog training has a proven plan that works. At Sit Means Sit, we help real families with real dogs right here in our community. From basic obedience to behavioral training, we get fast results with clear communication and support every step of the way. Locally owned, nationally trusted, with over 300 5-star Google reviews. Book your free consultation today at sitmeansit.com.
Come visit us at Chick-fil-A in Newark. Stop by our Christiana location on Route 4 right next to the hospital, recently remodeled and ready to serve you. Or check out our brand new University Plaza restaurant on Route 273, just opened and excited to welcome you. We're here to serve you breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Follow us on social media to keep up with our monthly events, including fun weekly family nights at both locations you won't want to miss. Eat more chicken at Chick-fil-A Christiana and University Plaza. We look forward to serving you.
Every Delaware football game, home and away, is on 94.7 WDSD.
And welcome back into Delaware Stadium. Big thanks to Benny Pinella for our IBEW Local 313 halftime report. Delaware up 17-10 here in Newark after Nick Minicucci got in with zeros on the clock, just as he did in overtime against UConn. Same end zone a couple of weeks back. You heard from Terrence Archer at the break, and that interview brought to you by the Hockessin Athletic Club. Keep your kids active this school year with dance, tumbling, martial arts, and sports classes at Hockessin Athletic Club. Schedule a tour today at hachealthclub.com. Between preschool, tumbling, swim lessons, basketball, working out, there's a good chance somebody from my family will be there when you go to check it out. Head to WDSD.com, and you could even win a membership. Sign up to win on the contest page, and I could be seeing you there soon. That's WDSD.com's contest page for Hockessin Athletic Club membership. 17-10 at the half. We're getting ready for the second half of football. Delaware, 189 total yards in the first half. Western Kentucky, 184. And the penalty on the Minicucci touchdown makes this one 15 yards further back. And it is going to make a difference as Flowers has it at the 30, at the 40, running at midfield, has Reed to beat at the 45 and out of bounds. And so that penalty on the touchdown by Nick Minicucci cost Delaware 15 yards on the kick. It became returnable, and now Western Kentucky is set up in plus territory to begin the second half.
And since most of Nate Reed's kickoffs go into the end zone for a touchback, that's a huge change of field position, especially at the start of the second half. So these penalties we talked about, that's been our advantage throughout the year. Unfortunately, this time, whether it was celebration or whatever, it was ill-timed and gives Western Kentucky great field.
First play of quarter number 3 coming up for Western Kentucky. Trying to ride the momentum of that kickoff return. They swing out to Parrish, who we haven't really called much today. Parrish's first catch leads the team in receiving, and he's only had one carry on the day. Coming into this one, Parrish, 22 catches, 42 rushing attempts. He goes backwards. It'll be second and 11.
Those short throws are designed to get yards after the catch. It also gets the quarterback in the game very early on with a completion just for his psyche. Delaware's played both of those tunnel screens, wide receiver screens, extremely well.
Second down and 11. McIver goes back to Parrish, this time on the ground, and he picks up a couple. Going to be third down and long. Call it 8 as the whistle marks his momentum down at the 41-yard line.
Good job by Delaware against the run game of Western Kentucky. Other than a couple of those backside counter trade traps, Delaware's done a good job with the straight-up runs by Parrish and Wright for the most part. This is a big play here early on because of the early field position that Western Kentucky gained after the kickoff return.
A 40-yard return by Flowers set him up in plus territory. Now it's third down and 8. A run play. So Wright trying to angle. Flag is thrown as Gavin Moll brings him down a yard shy of the first down marker. We'll see if it sends Western Kentucky backwards, though. It was an 8-yard carry. A 7-yard carry on third and 8. And it is going to be a hold against Western Kentucky. And you keyed on some penalties prior to this game. We talked about in the pregame show and how important they'll be.
Offense, 10-yard penalty, third down.
So instead of fourth down and 1, and the official did check with Cardi, do you want fourth and 1? Do you want third down and long? He'll take third down and very long instead.
When and where, and also situationally. Here they are. They're down on the road. They get a good kickoff return. Third down. That was going to be 4-down territory, guarantee it, for Western Kentucky to run it on third down and long. They get the penalty. Now they've got to have to throw it. Delaware can decide to maybe have a little blitz here and force McIver to get the ball out quickly, or drop into coverage, which they like to do at times with a 3-man rush and 8 droppers.
Western Kentucky 5 of 6 on third down. This one, they need 17 yards from midfield. McIver fires, and it's batted away, nearly caught off the ricochet. Manning got his hands on it, and then diving was Cameron Flowers. That would have been something else. A huge break for Western Kentucky had Flowers come away with it, but it falls incomplete.
Let me tell you who made the play there was Nate Evans. He skied to get a hand up to distract the receiver and almost tipped it, and that allowed Manny to come in from behind. Excellent defensive backfield play by Delaware as they roll out from an unbalanced set. MacGyver to the wide side of the field.
Punt unit on. Duplessis back to return. He had a touchdown a week ago against FIU. Fair catch at the 5. It'll be Delaware football for the first time in the second half when we come back. Your first at Ortho.com timeout score was the same as it is at the break. 17-10. Delaware leads here on 94.7 WDSD.
People's Plaza. Eat, shop, and more. From food to fashion to fun, People's Plaza has it all at Routes 40 and 896.
The wait is finally over, Delaware. The best of both worlds has arrived at Delaware Park Casino. Indoor and outdoor gaming like you've never seen before. Introducing Delaware's largest outdoor slot patio, a brand new open-air space with nearly 10,000 square feet and 257 of the hottest slot machines, which is now open. Visit DelawarePark.com for more information. Lottery agent for the Delaware Lottery must be 21 to play.
You're the main character of your UD story. Why not live where it's all happening? Meridian on Main puts you right on East Main Street, steps from campus, food, and fun. Enjoy Wi-Fi included, water and sewer covered, electric split simply with roommates, plus a modern space and on-site fitness. Tour today and move into Newark's newest student community. Meridian on Main, live at the center of it all. Visit meridianonmain.com.
Blue Hens football is on 94.7 WDSD FM and iHeartRadio.
Delaware leads 17-10 on 94.7 WDSD FM over Western Kentucky. Let's get the second half game plan brought to you by the DE 529 Savings Plan. Parents, if you have a little one at home, I've got one little, I got one unfortunately not so little anymore. Be sure to take advantage of DE 529's First State First Steps program. If your child is age 5 or younger and lives in the state of Delaware, DE 529 will match your initial contribution of $100 to their education savings account. So important. For more information, visit 529.delaware.gov. Second half game plan for the Hens. Bill.
Continue to convert on third down. We're 6 for 9 against a team that came in at 27%. The second thing is to continue to win the time of possession. That gives our defense a chance to rest against this high-powered offense and obviously tire out their defense for later on in the half, especially in the big moments. And also, Nick Minicucci has 12 completions to 9 different players. Continue to spread the ball around. It really makes Delaware an incredibly difficult team to defend from a pass defense standpoint.
They're backed up here. Delaware will start the drive at their own 5-yard line, 13:07. Third quarter action, first possession for the Hens, up by 7. And they'll go to the ground. A big burst by Joe Silver picks up not only a first down, but gives Delaware some room to operate. Or will they give him the first down? They won't. It'll be about 9.5 for Joe, but certainly gives Delaware some space.
Joe Silver has become an impeccable running back from a sense of timing. He is very patient. He waits for the hole to develop, and then when it does develop, he takes it with great alacrity. I'll tell you what, I love his running style, inside and out.
Some pressure coming for the Hilltoppers. Minicucci, as he's done all day, gets it out quickly. This time dropped catchable ball for Sean Wilson, and incomplete near the Delaware sideline. Third down in a yard.
Minicucci continues to get the ball to his hands very quickly. It's negating any sort of Western Kentucky pass rush. He's basically had clean pockets all evening. Credit the offensive line and the play calling and the execution by Nick.
Third down and 1 for Delaware. Out of the gun is Minicucci. He'll clap and now go talk to his offensive line. Silver will switch from right to Minicucci. Now he's on the left side of Nick on third and a yard. Silver got 9.5, and that will get the extra half that he needed on his first carry. That'll be a first down for the Hens.
Silver does what all good running backs do. once he establishes the hole that he's going to take, he has low pad level, runs with what we say his feet underneath him. He's never overextended. He keeps those feet churning. So if there is contact, he's going to have a chance to at least force that first tackler off him a little bit. A nice block by Noah Roshak, our right tackle.
Transfer from Syracuse, Roshak. And it's Silver again. This time a little toss play. And he's going to lose yardage back to the 15. It was 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. And Silver going backwards that time.
Run a little toss into the sideline there and strings it out at all. You run into the boundary. It gets compressed. So there wasn't much there. That was good team defense by Western Kentucky to at least negate Silver, who started off this half with good rhythm.
Silver's got 12 carries, 28 yards. Minicucci's got 2 rushing touchdowns. Minicucci is the quarterback on 2nd and 11. Silver picks up a blitzer. Minicucci tries to put it in a tight window, and it gets batted at the line. He was looking for, I think, Thal. And it was batted down right where it started by Vincent Sneak.